We're learning more this morning about a boat attack off the coast of Cuba. Plus, lawmakers are sharply divided over President Trump's State of the Union address.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Welcome to Mountain News This Morning. I'm Neely Green here with you on this Thursday, February 26th. The time is now 4:59, and let's check in with meteorologist Megan Dusman for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, it's raining this morning.
Yeah, it is raining, and it's raining pretty heavy. Now, not so much here in Perry County, but all across we're seeing some pieces of heavy rainfall. So let's track that out for you this morning. Here's a look at satellite and radar over the last hour. But if we stop it for right now, you could just zoom in and see where just some of that heaviest rainfall is. Take a look towards Virginia. We're talking Wise, Dickinson, and Buchanan County, seeing portions of that heavy rainfall, as well as the most southern part of Pike County, as well as Floyd and Knott. Now, we're going to continue to watch that throughout the morning hours, but by the afternoon, conditions are definitely improving. Here's also a look at that visibility. You'll notice that will be an issue for some folks, especially in Hazard. We're seeing the densest fog right now, 1 mile visibility, and as you look out our camera, you can just kind of see why we're tracking that this morning. So be careful, wet roadways, some foggy conditions as well. Temperatures this morning, though, are in a mixture of the mid-40s, not too bad, and high temperatures for today will be a little bit improved. We're talking upper 40s and low 50s. Neely.
Thank you, Megan. We're learning more this morning about a boat attack off the coast of Cuba. The country says its border troops shot and killed 4 people in a U.S. speedboat after the boat occupants opened fire first. Cuba says they were Cuban nationals living in the U.S., allegedly planning to commit terrorism. CBS News correspondent Jared Hill has more from New York.
An intense scene in the Caribbean Wednesday. Cuba says its border guard troops approached a U.S. speedboat carrying 10 people about a mile off the north coast of the island. Cuban officials say they asked for identification, and the people on the boat started shooting, injuring a Cuban commander. Cuban troops fired back, killing at least 4 people. The other 6 injured, arrested, and taken to a hospital in Cuba for treatment. Cuban officials now say the people on the Florida-registered speedboat were Cuban nationals living in the U.S., and that some had violent criminal records. Cuban authorities say they found rifles, handguns, Molotov cocktails, bulletproof vests, and camo uniforms on the boat. They say the group was planning to carry out terrorism on the island, and that another person arrested in Cuba confessed that he was sent from the U.S. to receive the so-called infiltrators.
It is highly unusual to see shootouts in open sea like that.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio says multiple federal agencies, including the U.S. Coast Guard and the U.S. Embassy in Havana, are investigating and working to verify the identity of those on board.
We're going to find out exactly what happened here, and then we'll respond accordingly.
The attack comes as tensions between the U.S. and Cuba have been increasing. The Trump administration slapped new tariffs on the island and cut off its oil shipments from Venezuela, following the capture of former Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Cuban authorities have released the names of the 6 survivors and one of the deceased. They are working to identify the other 3 people killed. Talk about the economy played a big role in President Trump's State of the Union address this week, and Republicans are already looking at ways to capitalize on the momentum in November's midterms, with top House Democrat Hakeem Jeffries slamming the speech. But Senate Majority Leader John Thune argued the president provided Republicans a roadmap for future legislation.
There was no substance in that speech, but a lot of snake oil.
One of the things that will be immediately on that agenda is a housing bill, which gets at the heart of the affordability issue, particularly for younger Americans.
Midterms may be months away, but primaries in crucial states like Texas and North Carolina start next Tuesday. At stake come November, the balance of power in Congress and the future of the president's agenda. Senate Bill 162 has passed through the Senate. The bill is sponsored by 3 Republican senators. It focuses on improving and streamlining Kentucky's juvenile diversion process. If put into law, the bill would remove the mandatory family accountability intervention and response or fair team requirement in certain cases. primarily those involving status offenses such as habitual truancy, running away, and being beyond parental or school control. It now heads to the House for consideration. Also in Frankfort, dozens of people called on lawmakers to protect LGBTQ rights in Kentucky. It was the annual Fairness Campaign rally. The Beshear administration and others, including author and East Kentucky native Silas House, voiced their support.
We have to remind people that our votes matter, that legislation actually changes things, and it's a way to implement progress, that we can change Kentucky for the better.
The Fairness Campaign website includes a list of bills they support and oppose this legislative season. Norton Healthcare in Louisville is raising some concerns after a recent spike in pediatric flu cases. The hospital confirmed more than 2,500 cases of children with the flu in the past week and 5 hospitalizations. Norton says this is the highest spike in Kentucky kids so far this flu season. Health experts say the increase is because of the flu B strain, which is more common in children. And while the strain is usually more mild to moderate, it can still lead to serious issues for younger children and those with underlying medical conditions. Norton pediatrician Dr. Felton talked about some concerns parents might have.
I think some of the most common ones are that they're concerned that you could get the flu from the flu vaccine. It's not possible for that to happen from the flu shot because it's an inactivated vaccine, so it couldn't cause you to get the flu.
She says sometimes you experience things like a little bit of muscle soreness or fatigue after getting a vaccine, but Dr. Felton says that's your immune system turning on and making antibodies. Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Many in Harlan County are mourning the loss of longtime journalists.
And a statewide tornado drill is less than a week away. I'll tell you what you need to know.